Hello, Amadeus here, and today I will introduce you 10 things to do when you are in Taiwan. Taiwan is home to vibrant culture, modern cities, natural hot springs, dramatic mountains, and gorgeous temples. Apart from that, you're gonna find lots of delicious food here and great weather all year long, making this place irresistible to visit. So imagine one day Julius Caesar wants to come here and say, Veni Vidi Vici, it's possible, but first he has to do 10 things. What 10 things? I'm gonna tell you now. This one is very easy, but extremely important. The food. So imagine if Taiwan is a planet spinning around any star, the star would be definitely food. The life in Taiwan really goes around food. It's not only about getting nutrition, it's also about socializing, making friends, having fun, and even doing business. The best way of experiencing culture in Taiwan probably is by eating. Food is very easily accessible, most cases even 24 hours a day. From breakfast shops to midnight snacks, desserts. In some places, you can buy fresh seafood from the fisherman and cook it on a spot. Some people do more creative flavors by mixing local cuisine with foreign recipes. So I would say you could satisfy anybody's taste here easily. If someone asks me what's the best or national dish of Taiwan, that's probably gonna be beef noodles. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are many other dishes. Actually, I've been living here 7 years and every day I go out and eat and I still have dishes to discover. I actually made a video about 5 dishes that are my favorites, so feel free to watch it. A very unique and special way of experiencing food in Taiwan is going out to the night market. You can imagine that countless stands, numerous foods and drinks, a sea of people walking around, and apart from grabbing snacks, they still can buy some clothes, accessories, or even get a massage and play games. I can say it this way, you've never been to Taiwan if you haven't visited a night market here, because that's such an amazing experience itself. When you think of Taiwan, you're probably gonna imagine those huge cities that are busy 24 hours a day with traffic. And yeah, that's one of the parts of living in Taiwan, which is also very convenient. But at the same time, Taiwan can offer you hundreds of small, charming towns around the island that could be explored anytime you want. They're all very close from the main cities as well. If you want to see special architecture, beautiful landscapes, try new flavors, and see how people live or used to live in different areas, I really recommend you to going away from the city for a while. One of those charming towns you definitely need to visit is Jiufen, and it's located in very north of Taiwan. At the end of the 19th century, the history of Jiufen changed a lot. From the small village, it became a bigger town because the gold was discovered in the area. The gold mining was abundant, but all those beautiful spots are still there to see for you. At the end of the 20th century, in 1990s, the city started to boom because of the tourism again. Apart from the mining things, you can also see the old Jiufen street, which is gorgeous. Possibly you can also go around and do some hiking. There are many beautiful mountains around. There is a waterfall, and all this beautiful town is on the top of the mountain. So if you look down, you're gonna see gorgeous sea line. Another beautiful place to visit in Taiwan is Anping. What makes Anping so special is the historical value of the area, because previously it was occupied by Dutch. Apart from seeing those beautiful landmarks that the Dutch people have there, you can still see lots of temples and stroll around the Anping street where you can grab some snacks. When you're in Kaohsiung, it's a good idea to visit Mainong, which is a town in a rural area surrounded by farms and a mountain. Mainong has very rich Hakka culture, which is a little different than most of Taiwan. But at the same time, you can explore wonderful landscapes and try some Hakka food, which is delicious. Apart from that, the very famous thing to buy from Mainong is the paper beautiful, gorgeous umbrellas. I'm only gonna introduce 3 Taiwanese beautiful, charming towns, but if you'd like to more, just write me a comment. Taiwan has more than 15,000 temples, which are dedicated to gods, heroes, animals, and even Dutch admirals, full of fragrance, colors, and sounds, ranging from huge buildings with multiple shrines to countless small temples barely big enough to fit a single god. Taiwanese temples can be dedicated to Taoist, Buddhist, and Confucian beliefs. Sometimes multiple faiths and many gods can coexist together happily under one roof. The oldest temple in Taiwan is believed to be in Penghu. It's called Tianhou Temple, which dates back to the 15th century. Why are there so many temples in Taiwan? One of the reasons is the fact that Taiwan is surrounded by sea from all four sides. Major part of the economy used to be fishing. Sea can be rough, can be unpredictable, and people have to go fishing. They really want to come back home. That's why going to the temple would be very comforting for them, and giving their hope they're gonna be the same number on the way out and on the way back. Most of the Taiwanese temples are open for visitors, and everybody's welcome to come over. You can even take some photos. For me, I usually use the silent shutter so I don't disturb others. And the most important rule is basically be respectful to others. Enter dragon, exit tiger. It means when you get into the temple, usually on the right side, you're gonna see the door that has some paintings, drawings, or sculptures similar to dragon. And this is the way to get in. When you finish your ritual, make sure you leave with the other door, which is usually on the left. Be careful, there's one door between, and this one is made for gods, and people are not welcome to use it. You need to know that Taiwanese people are very forgiving towards the foreign visitors, so even if you make little faux pas, nobody's gonna make a big deal of that, but try to be respectful. Taiwanese worshippers usually pray for three things, which are fortune, luck, and longevity. When you go to the temple, you can also ask simple yes/no questions to the god. First, you need to find a half-moon-shaped red pieces of wood, which I'll call jiaobei, and you hold those in your hands and you drop them on the floor. So the answers are very easy to interpret. Two pieces are facing down or facing up. That means no. If one piece facing up, one piece facing down, then it means yes. Apart from the regular visiting, sometimes you can go to the temple when they organize their ceremonies, rituals, or bigger events and activities. Those might be very interesting, including tiger, dragon dances, or even pole dancers dancing in front of the gods. The most interesting festival I ever attended, I actually went there twice because it's so much fun. It's called Yansui Beehive Festival. It's organized once a year around Chinese New Year in Tainan, in the south of Taiwan. Carts with gods on the top are pushed around the city. At a certain point around the gods, there is something looks like a beehive full of fireworks. People set it on fire, and then the fireworks shooting everywhere. The fun part is there are lots of people around this beehive, and they're getting shot by fireworks. Of course, they're wearing helmets and protection clothes. It is believed once you get hit by the firework, it's gonna give you some sort of blessing and good luck. I would believe it's one of the most interesting festivals, but still be careful if you want to visit, but definitely worth trying. Everyone from time to time definitely needs to relax. Taiwan got you covered here. How? All you have to do is soak in hot springs. Due to the location over the volcanic system in a tectonic collision zone, Taiwan has evolved a very unique environment that produces high temperature springs with crystal clear water, usually both clean and safe to drink. Those hot springs are commonly used for spas and resorts. One of the first spas in Taiwan was opened in Beitou, and that started a new era since when the whole island is basically dotted with hot springs. In Japanese onsen culture, it is believed that taking a bath gives you health benefits such as improving your energy levels and treating your chronic fatigue. What is very interesting about Taiwan is actually has one of the highest concentrations of thermal springs, and at the same time has a great variety. You can find cold and hot springs, you can find clear water hot springs, muddy hot springs, and even, which is very unique, salty water hot springs. It is very easy to enjoy hot springs. They're very convenient. All you have to do is go to the hotel or the resort and soak in a hot water in a public or private bath. If you want to try something even more special, I very recommend you to try wild hot springs. In this case, you're probably gonna need to climb a bit, possibly cross a few icy cold waters if you do it in the winter, but at the end, the pleasure is so rewarding. One of my favorite places to try wild hot springs is in Taidong in Lisong, but there are many other options that are worth exploring. Climbing mountains in Taiwan is a world-class trekking experience. The island has the largest number and density of high mountains in the world, and also the second highest mountain range in Eastern Asia are found here. Wherever you are in Taiwan, hiking trails, waterfalls, rivers, and scenic mountain vistas are always within reach. You can find challenging climbs and easier hikes as well. Taiwan mountainous terrain is truly majestic. Taroko Gorge, Hehuan-san, Ali-san, Jade Mountain are some of the most popular places to go, but there are hundreds of others that really worth visiting. What is really rewarding about hiking is that you can go to the places that remember very different times. And what I find particularly interesting is Taiwan is mostly located in a subtropical and tropical zone, but once you reach height of 2,000 or 2,500 meters above the sea level, the vegetation changes drastically and you can witness completely different nature than in the plains. Living in the city also lets you meet wild animals. Every time you see wild macaques playing in the forest or deer sneaking around, it is a beautiful sight. Apart from the nature and all those beautiful views, there is one more thing on the top of this cake. Taiwanese people are very friendly in most cases, but once you are in mountains alone and meet people there, you are considered to be one of the sanyo, which means the mountain friend. So people are gonna chat you up, maybe they're gonna share snacks or drinks with you, even if you're a complete stranger, because that's kind of an idea. Like once you're in the mountains, in the wild, the people who are together next to you, they are your friends and they should help you and you should help them as well, which is very heartwarming feeling to experience. Taiwan also have own slice of paradise with sandy beaches, blue waters, tropical forests, and mountains around. Located in the southern tip of Taiwan in Pingtung County, Kenting National Park is the perfect place for outdoor activities all year long and is also the oldest national park in the whole country. Apart from hitting the beaches, you can also visit L1B Lighthouse, see the southernmost tip of Taiwan. You can go for a hike at Longpan Park and try some seafood at Hobihu Harbor, where sashimi is as cheap as 100–250 NT dollar per portion. You can go to Guanshan to enjoy one of the most beautiful sunsets in Taiwan. In Kenting, there is a night market which is 2 kilometers long, full of foods, games, and other things. Apart from that, you will find some drug bars where you can grab a drink. There is something magical about the east coast of Taiwan. Maybe it's the shades of blue when you look at the ocean, maybe the clouds above the mountains, maybe it's the Aboriginal culture that you can encounter there, or maybe it's just all together. If you're in Taiwan, it's a great idea to take a break from the crowded west and go to the east coast. One of the famous places to visit is Taroko National Park with Chinshui Cliff and Eternal Spring Temple with many hiking trails, waterfalls, and so on. But that's the only one of many attractions around the area. A bit further south there is majestic Taidong. You cannot miss natural hot springs, rice fields surrounded by the mountains, and beautiful beaches. You'll need to wake up one day a bit earlier than usually because the sunrise at Sanshintai is breathtaking. The region is ethnically diversified due to the densest concentration of Aboriginal peoples. Lots of them preserve their traditional beliefs, languages, and practices. Visiting the area during a summer is probably the best way of experiencing Aboriginal culture because there are many festivals going on there. Are you looking for a place where the water is clear, sky is blue, and there are countless stars at night? Would you like to wander around the old fisherman's village. You need to pack your bags and discover Taiwanese offshore island. I haven't visited all of them, but all the places I've been, I enjoy a lot, and each experience was very unique. For example, Penghu is a great place to visit temples, Magong Old Town, and enjoy one of the freshest seafood in the world. There are beautiful beaches too. Xiaoliuqiu is very near, only a 30-minute ferry ride from Donggan. And once you arrive there, you can go snorkeling, enjoy coral reefs, and swim with the turtles. There are only 3 places in the world where you can enjoy seawater hot springs. One of them is in Green Island, right off the east coast from Taiwan. Taiwan produces one of the best teas in the world, and it's been a part of the culture since 17th century. The Japanese ramped up the tea production industry and brought global attention to Taiwanese teas known as Formosa teas. During this time, some of the world's most popular varieties of tea were developed here. The high altitude, humid, and misty mountains of Taiwan provide perfect growing conditions for tea trees. You can find a whole variety of trees due to geographical and weather diversity. The most popular is oolong. Black, red, and green teas are also widely popular. One of the first places where people used to grow tea was in Nantou, but there are tea plantations all over the island from Taipei to Pingdong. The most popular teas come from Nantou, Jiayi, and Hualien. Once you go to these areas, you can find shops selling local tea leaves where you can try it as well. You can also go to Maokong or Zhoufen if you want to visit famous tea houses to enjoy real tea ceremonies. If you're in Taiwan, you're gonna find many beverage shops selling teas, sometimes mixed with ice, milk, or even beer. They are tasty, delicious, and locals love them as well. If you want to use local Taiwanese tea, that would be too expensive, and the Taiwanese tea is too rare for mass production. So if you really want to experience and try Taiwanese tea, you need to do a few steps more than just go to the convenience store or the beverage shop. But it's definitely worth it. Everybody is different, enjoys different things, so I would love you to help me. Please write me a comment and tell what would be number 10. What is the thing that everybody should do when they're in Taiwan, but I missed and I forgot? I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. I'm really curious what you want to write. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe, and so this way we can see each other more often, and see you next time. Goodbye.